Well, almost to the kids' school to drop them off. I noticed the sun's coming up just a wee bit earlier. I'd rather be waking up as the sun is coming up. But unfortunately, we have to take the kids down to school today. We had a long break, and it was the bitter cold. The one thing I noticed about Ohio that, honestly, I didn't experience in Guelph was the school cancellations. You know, there would have to be an event for the schools to be canceled in Guelph. In fact, there were times where if it was freezing rain, the buses were canceled. But school was still open if you want to take your kids by. And here it's quite a bit different. If it's too cold, they don't go. Well, they don't go to recess. I don't know why they don't gotta go. But that's just the way it is. So they missed school yesterday, back to school today. Everybody's back in the grind today. Speaking of back in the grind, we certainly are. We have all the babies to train today. Now, we got our last wave of eight babies had OCDs removed or procedures done. There was no issues. I shouldn't say there's no issues. The last three get done this morning and then picked up probably Thursday or Friday, and that would constitute the entire burn. Everybody looked at, everybody fixed, all are moving forward. The ones that just come back obviously are on stall rest for 14 days. That's generally how it goes for a run-of-the-mill OCD surgery. 14 days off, the stitches come out, give them another day, and then we usually start walking and jogging them. With the way there's snow and ice, there's no way to you can't possibly hand walk horses when it's this snowy and icy and cold out, so we just start jogging them lightly, probably a mile, easy, almost at a walk the first couple of days, and then back into the swing of things, jogging a little bit, working their way back up to the rotation, so to speak, and back in with everybody else. But that all takes time. So we'll be short a few horses today, but we still have 6 full sets to go. And because today is the only break now, according to the Weather Network, Wednesday is the only break in the weather for the next, it seems like forever, at least the next 7 to 10 days. It's going to be freezing cold for the next 7-10 days. Yeah, no, it's going to be so, it'll be below zero here at Fahrenheit on Friday. Now,
it has to be over -15 for the schools to close.
It has to be below -50?
Well,
yeah, well, it's going to be well below -15 for many times over the next 7 to 10 days. Friday, which I'm glad I'm not racing, Friday, it says here, -23 Celsius before the wind chill. So that's pretty frigid. So there'll be days where the horses are light or they're missed, but today was not one of them. So I told Jason, everything goes today. Everybody goes out. All the babies, all the 3-year-olds. We have 4 or 5 to win the race bike. We have horses qualifying today, and we have Neuromancer schooling today for everybody wondering what he's up to. I've just kind of been taking my time. You know, you only have, you know, I guess it's not a very nice way of putting it, but you got one shot, right? They have one shot to do it right and to show me that they're advancing. What's that, honey?
You should take them in.
We're all right. It's only 7:45. We got lots of time.
Talking about the line.
Yeah, the line moves pretty quick. We'll be through in 5 minutes. Go on, you're all right. I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, you know, when we talked about this with Pretty Eyes and Lies, I've talked about this with all our clients, and you guys know, right? I know nobody wants to get a message saying it's just not working out. You know, we kept the horse. We bought it as a baby, trained it down, kept it. You know, pulled it over through the winter, trained it back down, got the horse ready, and then lo and behold, didn't turn out the way we wanted. That's, and I guess that if I'm going to be completely honest, it probably happens more than the other way. But the other way can be very dramatic sometimes, and I use all the time. I use Time Is on My Side as an example. He was a terrible 2-year-old. A very ordinary looking 2-year-old. What are we doing here? Acura? We're just going to pull right up to the fence? Okay, cool. I don't think that's a parking spot, but all right.
Welsh University.
Uh-huh.
The teachers.
No, teachers are over there. Oh, yeah, you're right. Could be, I guess. I always use Time Is on My Side. He wasn't a great 2-year-old, and you know, it's not lost on me, all these stories. It is sometimes for everybody because we have so many horses, but You look, somebody said, well, if they're not training down good, they're not generally good horses. Well, that's not true either, right? I told you the story yesterday of Austral Hanover, who never trained good that I can remember a day in his life. But when he got to the races and saw the starting gate, different horse. Jailbird Jog spent almost all year on the run, right? But ended up being a very, very nice filly. So those things do happen. And if we bring 10 2-year-olds back, or even 15, let's say, with question marks on them, maybe just barely showed enough where you're like, it could be an okay horse. And let's say of the 15, 8 or 9 don't pan out. That's going to happen. But the 5 or 6 that do are the ones you don't want to, you don't want to end up throwing the baby out with the bathwater type situation, right? To use an old saying. So it's our job to make sure that we turn over every stone and make sure that every horse is prepared the very best that we can for their racing career. And if it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. And that's not to say that they won't, but it will happen. So, the trainers today, actually, you know what? I had the list right here. I can tell you. Aside from all the babies, we have 13 trainers, counting the schooling from Neuromancer. And as I was saying with Neuromancer a moment ago, the thing about Neuromancer is he's been in 2.5 2 or 3 times, but I need to see 2.1. I need to see 2.2. And if it's just a matter of cardio and work and putting a little weight on, then that's up to us to do also. So I did hit the pause button with him a little bit, put a little bit of weight on him, got him eating good, got his confidence up. He trained good the other day, and I expect him to school in 2.2 today if the track's fit. Because last night, it was not fit. We'll talk about that in a minute. So aside from the babies that are going, the horse is training today. Degas makes her first training trip back today. All right, guys. Love you. Have a good day. Okay, Addie, don't forget you got your shoes, sweetheart. Yeah. Addie, what are you going to get at school today?
Enjoy your vacation?
Yeah, good girl. Ollie, careful.
Hey, Ollie. How are you? Ollie got too much stuff. Got too much baggage.
Yeah, Ollie's got a lot of baggage there.
I got this. Can we please move the car seat to that?
Can you? Yeah, we can do that. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
So Degas is going to make her first training trip of the day. Just an easy mile today. I had her in with Supermine and Uncle Danny, and then Eric messaged me this morning and said, hey, this is Degas' first training trip. The other one's been like 5 or 6. Do you want me just to go easy with her before you get here? That's fair. Yeah, 100%. So that's exactly what we're doing. As I'm talking right now, Degas is probably on the track going her slow mile, which means Jason and Eric can go Supermine and Uncle Danny, which I'm fine with also. When I get there, I'm going to go with Don't Ask Again, Megan's Lucky Day, Steady Volo, and we threw Neptune in there today. This will be his first training trip. We'll probably just train him a couple of times, snap him in the bike, go a mile and 2.5, and he'll be ready to rock. But we're on the first training trip stage, so he'll go a mile and a half with Megan, Don't Ask Again, Steady Volo, and Neptune today. And then in the race bike, we have 4 in the race bike. We have Chicago Hall prepping for this weekend. We have Agent Black, who is also going to be getting ready. He was a little bit, oh no, we had to scratch him. What am I talking about? Chicago Hall will go today. I don't even know how I had Agent Black on there. He's scratched tomorrow because he's sick. Certainly not going to train today. Diosa Della Danza and Millie Girl. So my apologies. 3 horses that will be going in the race bike today. Millie Girl, Chicago Hall, and Anthony. Chicago Hall, Millie Girl, and Diosa Della Danza. All going around 2.5. That should be good. Again, it's how the track is. When I raced all of them last night, you could just feel how... Remember I told you they trained the other day and then just zapped them? It's the same as last night. Like, Tenacious Hanover was better than the Beat 25 the week before. He is getting better, but I could just feel him. It just sounded like somebody skating on a rink last night, and my hope is as it goes above 0 today, they take as much of that ice off the track as they can. It's not good for anybody, and hopefully they get it all off before tonight. So then we have Neuromancer to school. So I apologize. There's not 13 to go. There's 12. Agent Black will not be going today. He'll be jogging. I think in my head, I said rather than train him in the cold, I want to train him in the days better. But my brain wasn't braining well when I made the list. So he'll have to hopefully train. We get him back in next week. We'll likely have to train him Saturday. So we're waiting blood work. we have him on medication to dry him up, clean him up. If all signs point to him being good, we will train him on Saturday. So those are the horses going. Aside from the babies, we have 6 sets today of 6, 1 with 5, 2 with 5. So 34 horses are going to be training this morning, plus the 12 aged horses will also be going. So that is 46 horses to train this morning. So a reprieve from the cold, but only a short one just today, as it's back to the frigid temperatures tomorrow. Now, I'm lucky I'm only racing 3-point blue chip because of the scratch of Agent Black. I'm only racing 3-point blue chip tomorrow. No racing on Friday for us. Saturday also, no racing that I'm aware of. And then on Sunday, Saturday will be the Meadows. And then on Sunday, it'll be a full boat for us in however many we can race on Saturday. At the Meadows, we will. I'll be touching base with Tim later on this afternoon, looking to see what we got in, what we did not get in, and what makes sense for the Meadows. Now, that is what's going on today. What went on last night? You know, we had 3 in. It was bitter cold last night. Bobby raced. We had 2 or 3 breakers, and Bobby ended up with a pretty soft-looking 4th. I had said to Dr. Latessa after, maybe we should scope her just to make sure she's not bleeding. It felt like she bled a little bit. He said, I'd love to, but with the cold temperatures, the scope's not working very good. So we could not scope Bobby last night. We'll put her back in, a little rinse and repeat. She's going to have to do a lot more than that. But at the same time, what's holding her back? Is it ability? It's possible. Is it maybe she's bleeding a little bit? That's possible also. We're going to have a closer look at that over the next week. And again, maybe draw her blood just to make sure her liver, or she's not tying up, anything like that. This is where we start to turn over all the stones to see what we actually have. Here's how the horse raced. Did anything impede the horse last night? If not, what do we do moving forward? So we'll throw Bobby into the rinse and repeat pile for right now, and then we'll see what happens with her. We obviously have some questions to be answered with respect to Pretty Eyes and Lies tonight. Capistrano Knights is qualifying also, and our girl Royal Duchess is going to make her awaited appearance for 2026. She's going to need at least 2 qualifiers. We didn't get the speed into her the other day I wanted because of the track, but we'll see how she goes tonight. Amy, I think, is going to go with Royal Duchess tonight, if I'm not mistaken. If she can't, I don't know what her schedule looks like with regards to the kids or gymnastics or hockey or anything.
What day is it tonight?
It's Wednesday. Wednesday. Is there any gymnastics or hockey tonight? Baseball? No. If there's not, then Amy will be going with Royal Duchess. If there is, then it'll be Jason Merriman. So that's where we're at for the qualifiers, and of course, Neuromancer is schooling. Now, also last night, Salzburg Ian, I could tell he just wasn't getting a hold of the track. I posted the video and you could hear me going to the quarter pole saying, we'll find out if he can get a hold of the track when I ask him for speed here in the next lap. I did, and he flattened out. Now Aaron was very close to falling down in front of me at that. If you want to know how icy the track is, again, I had made mention to it during the mile. He was very close to losing his footing. And when I had moved Salzburg Ian, he got around that horse, but it was just on sheer ability, right? He just could not get a hold of the track. And there's not much we can do with that. We opted to put a set of flip-flops on him. I think he's a million times more comfortable and a lot safer, more confident with them on. But there is a giveaway, right? There is that sometimes not being able to get a hold of the track the way you wanted to. When you're racing on a skating rink last night, that's what happens. So Salzburg Ian, a good third, just beat for second, and just got up for third. He raced okay, and then of course Tenacious Hanover later on. The recall kind of buggered us up a little bit going up to the gate, and then I'm actually glad there was a recall. We had a bit burr on the outside, and I've never seen a horse fight a bit burr like this. He was locked on the left line so hard. We brought him in, took the bit burr off, and actually put a Murphy outside, and he went out and raced. Now, that is not Tenacious Hanover. I will tell you what I think is happening with Tenacious Hanover. He's slowly getting better, but the biggest problem with Tenacious Hanover, especially when a horse gets hurt and is lame and they get sounded up, sometimes they can hold back, right? Can you blame them? He's a smart little horse, and I think he's just being super protective of himself. He doesn't Nobody wants to be sore, right? It's the same as, similar, but not really the same. He had a screw put in his ankle, but with my wrist, I'm very cognizant of what goes on with it also. And you don't want to get completely healthy and then push yourself back to a point where you're sore. So I guess it's not really the same in that regard. But I hope you understand where I'm going with this. It happens all the time. You know, you have a horse that races through some adversity, some pain, for it could be an extended period of time, like it was with Tenacious Hanover. You get them sounded up, they're good, they're comfortable, and all of a sudden, it's almost like they say, I like it like this, and they hold back a little bit. So it's all about building that confidence and breaking them out of that shell and putting them in a position where they're confident enough that they're not going to hurt themselves. That may sound silly to you, but it absolutely is the truth. You know, sometimes you go out of your way to get a horse perfect, and there's regression in the speed, the overall speed tag on the horses. So I hope that isn't the case with Tenacious Hanover. I did see baby steps, obviously a lot better than 8B25 last night, but we still got a lot of work to do with respect to Tenacious Hanover. So he also will be put, for now anyway, into that rinse and repeat type category. You know, was he was there a little trepidation last night because of the slick surface also? It's very possible. So we'll see what goes on with Tenacious moving forward. Not his best effort last night, but obviously improved. It wasn't hard to improve from 8B25, but obviously improved from the start before that. We'll see if we can start chipping away at him and getting him to constantly start moving forward. If we can't, well, it's a different conversation for a different day. But today is Wednesday, I believe, January the 21st. We have, as I said, 46 horses to train this morning. We have some horses in tonight, Tally the Tab. Now, a little update. They made a mistake in the race office. I will be driving Tally the Tab. Justin Irvine will be driving Allure, so they're going to have to switch that. And that was their error. It was not mine. I had texted in plenty of time telling them, hey, I'll be going with Tally the Tab and Justin. I think they looked at it quick and put Justin on Tally the Tab. That will be changed this evening, and then Memento Mori also. So a good night of racing ahead for us. An okay night of racing. They all got paid last night, third, fourth, and fifth. But improvements expected in all three. And then, of course, we have 3 in the race bike this morning, and 3 qualifying and 1 schooling. So again, we continue getting our parade of sophomores to the track and getting them ready to go. Very close with many of them. Now, I will wear my glasses when I can this morning for you, but with the temperatures as they are, I guess it's not too bad today. I used them last night, and after every race, they were dead. I got 1 race in, so we'll see how we do with the training and the sets this morning with the glasses. I'll bring you what I can this afternoon. All right, everybody, have a great start to your Wednesday. I hope you're having a great week so far. I will talk to you all very soon.